Hi, welcome back to the Krayden's Right channel. This is another moment of Stand on Guard with David Krayden. I'm your host, David Krayden. I want to show you a clip here that once again illustrates how arrogant Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is about his ideas and his policies vis-a-vis everybody else who opposes him in any way. He's talking at a town hall, if you can call it that. It's in a fire hall just north of Toronto. And he's got a hand-picked audience of people who were told, by the way, not to ask any difficult questions. No hardball questions. Just make them questions that are easy for Justin Trudeau to answer, like the national media used to do, but aren't doing so much anymore. But Trudeau has the gall to suggest that if you don't agree with the mainstream media's interpretation of things, or more importantly, if you don't concur with how Justin Trudeau views the world, that you're nothing more than a flat earther, that you're just like the flat earth people who put all kinds of ridiculous things out there on the internet, can't substantiate them, and are clouding the internet and the communications world with misinformation and disinformation.
But the world has changed an awful lot. And we increasingly live huge parts of our lives online. We get our entertainment, we talk to our friends, we learn new things, we share stories, we engage in politics, we shape our communities. The connectivity and the access to information that you will have all your life is going to be incredibly empowering. But at the same time, it comes with real risks as well, because there is a lot of bad stuff out there on the internet. And we have laws against hate speech, and we have laws against incitations to violence, and we have laws that are out there to try and protect kids and protect people from the bad things on the internet. One of the things about the internet is you can have access to just about anything, everything, all the time. And any government that wants to try and limit what people can access on the internet has to be very, very, very careful. Because in a free society, there are places around the world where the internet is very carefully controlled. A place like China or Russia, where it's very, very difficult for someone to actually find out anything that is critical of the government. Not the case in Canada. Really easy to find things critical of the government on the internet in Canada and in other democracies. But we need to make sure people continue to be able to have access to their freedom of speech, their freedom of expression, the freedom of information. But there are real challenges around that in terms of keeping you safe, in terms of keeping your community safe.
Yeah.
And I know it feels for young people that internet has been around forever, but I'm of the Gen X generation, right? I mean, we were squeezed between the boomers and the millennials, and we're the last generation that remembers what it was without the internet, and now knows and remembers what it was before, but we watched and helped it evolve. And millennials and Zs are all native users of the internet. It's just the way it works for you. We have to make sure that we're being really thoughtful about how we continue to keep not just citizens safe, but our democracy safe. It used to be a time where all the information that you'd get was either in books in the library or on maybe 3 channels of nightly news.
Yeah.
And a couple of different newspapers, maybe a local newspaper and a couple of national newspapers. And they all more or less agreed on the same sorts of facts with different interpretations of what was good, what was best, what was bad. But we all had a shared grounding in the same kinds of facts. And people got to have disagreements around which best set of facts, which direction a country should go in. But we shared a general understanding of the way the world works. Right now with the internet, people can find themselves in little corners where all they hear
No, don't think
is
so.
what they want to hear. and they're surrounded by people who think exactly the same of them, and they get spun up into a world that is increasingly disconnected from the world. I remember a few years ago, before the pandemic, before much of this, I got fascinated with the idea of flat earthers. Now, this is an entirely new phenomenon. There wasn't really any moment back in recorded history, not the ancient Greeks or the ancient Babylonians or the Incas or whoever else, who actually wondered whether the earth was actually flat or not. And Christopher Columbus, they knew the earth was round. There was no danger he was going to fall off the edge of the world. That wasn't what people worried about when he was setting off to discover the Americas or discover a shortcut to India. But recently, over the past few years, a whole bunch of people have decided that the world is flat.
Maybe not.
Now, everything we know about science, from the people we've sent to the moon, to the photos we've taken from space, to how we explain day versus night and seasons, we know that the earth is round. But there are a whole bunch of people out there who have decided that the earth is flat. And they hang out with each other, and they find different ways of proving to themselves that the earth is flat. Now, that may not seem like a very serious thing, because someone who believes the earth is flat is not going to necessarily cause tremendous harm to everyone else. But the ability to start to believe something that simply isn't true, because enough people are telling you and reinforcing that around you, actually starts creating real problems and can bring us as a society to very scary places. And that's why we're still very much trying to figure it out. How to make sure we're protecting people's freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and we're making sure that marginalized communities and people who are traditionally oppressed by majorities continue to be protected in all the ways they need to be in societies, because there are lots of tools for majorities to oppress minorities everywhere in the world. But our capacity to make sure we're keeping people safe.
You believe that?
And not having people actually believe that vaccines include a microchip that's going to track you or poison you when it's actually about saving your life. These are things we have to figure out together. And the more we have real conversations, the more we encourage our kids to be critical thinkers about what they see on the internet, the more we teach our kids, not to take candy from strangers, not to, walk into dark alleys on alone. You have to look both ways before crossing the street. Well, we have to start making sure that as parents and as a society, we're helping kids and all of us be smart and safe in what we choose to learn, what we choose to consume, who we choose to hang out with on the internet as well.
And to have that kind of gall to say all of your opponents, anyone who disagrees with you is no better than a flat earth society person, is to me not only the height of arrogance, but the height of ignorance. I hope you're enjoying this channel as much as I enjoy putting the material on here. This is not just about politics. I sing some of my favorite songs from the Great American Songbook. And you can also watch my latest show where we do some of the news you're not going to hear anywhere else. But please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. If you want to be part of this station, please be a subscriber. We want you.